Happy Thursday, Frank. House of Orange with another big Tennessee basketball roster update. Slick Rick Barnes is totally on it. This dude's loving it. He's totally lighting up the portal, and he pulls in a big high school recruit as well within the last 2 days. A little bit late to the party on the portal commit, but on it as soon as possible tonight. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button as well. House of Orange TV coming at you. Yesterday, Tennessee adds former Notre Dame forward 6'7", 220 Jalen Harrelson. Today, they add top 50 Chris Washington Jr. to the fold. This team's loading up, and they're not done. They're not done if some of the potential, some of the stuff that's being said out there comes to fruition, basically. Right now, you got to like. If Tennessee gets a guy on campus that they want, you got to like their chances right now. They are 4 for 4 on the portal, and they currently also have Terrence Hill Jr., former VCU guard, on campus as well. And everything I've read says that is their main target at point guard. So can Tennessee make it 5 for 5? I think the good news is Hill made it through his Kansas visit and made it to Knoxville. So you've got Tyler Lundblade. You have got Day-Day Ames, Miles Rubin, Jalen Harrelson. That is your 4 in the fold right now. You're going to we'll see on Hill. We'll see on Terrence Hill Jr. if that happens. I like Tennessee's chances. I'm right now feeling that confident. If they get a guy to campus, that they're going to close it down. Again, when all this started, you've seen some of these veteran coaches get out. They said they can't do it. Rick Barnes, it's like it has rejuvenated him. It's reinvigorated him at this point, because what's he doing right now in the portal? He's going out adding offense. And if they finish off with what they've got the potential to finish off with, this will easily be Barnes' best offensive team to date. So let's kind of talk about what they're getting here as well. So I was reading, let's start with the most recent. I do want to start with Chris Washington Jr. on it. Big pickup. He was committed to Alabama at one point. I'm not sure everything had happened there, but he got out of it. Rivals ranks him number 33 overall. They list him as a small forward. I've seen Grant Ramey and Mike Wilson of VolQuest.com talk about he'll probably play the 4 option. But, you look at the scouting report. This is On 3's Jamie Shaw. He said, you immediately see the positional size, athletic fluidity, and plus length. Upside is high with his physical tools. Says he's also taken continual steps in his game each year, getting toward that ceiling. And then Shaw says, and I quote, says, the immediate floor is a 3-and-D option, guarding multiple spots and spacing the floor as a catch-and-shoot threat. As he continues to develop, said there could be more there to uncover. And Shaw does say about Washington as well, says he is still a bit raw, needs strength and conditioning to fine-tune his footwork and balance points on both ends of the floor. Says this is an upside grab for Tennessee, and it will be intriguing to watch how his game develops. So you look at the high school ranks. You've got Chris Washington is Tennessee's highest, and from what it looks like, he's already signed too. So he's their highest ranked signee. Then you got Ralph Scott's a 4-star. He was ranked 58 overall. Manny Green's a 4-star, 138 overall. Marquise Clark, 3-star, 217 overall. So you've got your 4 high school guys. Of course, you got Dwayne Brown. You got Troy Henderson returning. There's 6. And now you've added Tyler Lundblade, Day-Day Ames, Miles Rubin, and Jalen Harrelson. That's 10. They technically got – I'm kind of confused on this, that they can have up to 6 spots left, because they're like a designated student-athlete spot that, from what I've read, could give them 1 more spot on it. And if you're Tennessee, you add all you can here. Now, so let's talk about Jalen Harrelson, and then we'll get to the numbers that's left on it. Grant Ramey, VolQuest.com, put out an article on Harrelson and said, entitled it, Why Tennessee Basketball Was a Perfect Match for Jalen Harrelson here. And Harrelson said this right out of the gates. On his official visit, he got pushed, and he said that's exactly what he was looking for. Apparently, they went to the film room, him and Rick Barnes, said Barnes did not show Elite 8 footage. They looked at footage of him from Notre Dame and how Barnes wanted to use him. And Harrelson said he pushed me in those film sessions. Nothing is sugarcoated with him. He's going to give it to you straight, and I like to play for a coach like that. And I think that's, again, why this portal has really worked out for Rick Barnes, because he gets to meet with these guys, and he doesn't sugarcoat it, and I don't think he promises them anything either. He shoots them straight. He doesn't feed them full of a bunch of crap. And I think guys appreciate that, especially if they're going on their second or even multiple colleges, no matter what it is. But Harrelson, 6'7", 220, averaged 16.2 points, 4 rebounds, 2.6 assists at Notre Dame this past season. And he started 23 games, played in 27 for them. And it says, again, his versatility. So he can play the 3, and I think he can play the 4 too. And Harrelson said, just to play basketball, man, that's the thing. I'll be surrounded by really good players. If I get the rebound, go. He's going to use me in a lot of different ways around the court because of my versatility. And also just playing, man, no thinking. He wants to run a lot of different lineups, small ball, sometimes have me running a big lineup. He said he's going to have fun with me. What I think they're going towards, as you saw Michigan this past season. Of course, Michigan, we saw them firsthand when they took us to the woodshed. Michigan's lineup, basically, any of your, I mean, you had, Mara, who he's not going to bring the ball up the court. Any of your other guys that got the rebound could bring the ball up the court. I really think that's where Tennessee's going here with it, especially if they can add Terrence Hill Jr., and I'm going to talk about the potential big one. Yeah, I'm not even including Nate Ament. I'm still, oh man, that'd be awesome if Nate Ament came back. But I think that's being pretty ambitious right there. But based on what they've gotten so far with Lundblade, with Ames, with Harrelson, that's 3 guys who can bring the ball up the court. You add Terrence Hill Jr., that's a 4th one there. You add Juke Harris, we're cooking. You add Nate Ament back to the fold, we're cooking with Wesson Oil. We're sizzling at that point. So I'm loving it, loving what they're doing. Now, you've got to add some big guys. Don't get me wrong on that, but they're going to. They're not going to go in for just Dwayne Brown and Miles Rubin this year. You've got Hastings from Boston College that they're talking about. We'll see how serious that gets there as well. But I like the Harrelson pickup there. I like all their pickups, man. And here's a big thing as well. Harrelson and Juke Harris are friends. And they are friends, and they have the same agent. And Harrelson said, here and there, we holler at each other. Obviously, he's going through the draft process, so I think he's pretty focused on that. He said, so I'm not going to bug him. But obviously, it'd be great to team up with him. And he said, obviously, if Juke Harris does go back to college, he's going to be in his ear hard about Tennessee. And Harrelson and Nate Ament are friends as well, and said Nate Ament helped sell Harrelson on Tennessee. He said, Nate Ament, that's my guy, man. High school basketball, met each other there. He came to Notre Dame for a visit, and I came up there to talk to him, so we've been around each other a lot. And he has all the answers to the test on it. So Harrelson will be here in May. It says, I'm not sure on the freshmen at this point. I would think most of your transfers will probably get here about as soon as possible on that. But now you're looking at what's left on it. To me, the main, and it's going to depend on the draft process, 2 potential big, returns adds on it. Let's say I just can't see Nate Ament not getting a favorable grade on the draft. I don't think he necessarily boosted his stock in the NCAA tournament, but you saw those flashes of it this year, what he could do. I think it's going to be hard to keep him out of the draft this year. But, man, if he returns, Tennessee's going to do everything they can to retain him. There's no doubt about it. It would be huge. And then Juke Harris, he's going to go through the draft process. Some of them are saying Tennessee could close this thing. I know the North Carolina site, they're not giving Tennessee as much credit on this one, but a lot of your national dudes are stating that Tennessee's in a pretty good spot on this one. And it can hurt with Jalen Harrelson now in the fold, with them being buddies, with them having the same agents here. So I'm going to say Juke Harris is the most realistic here. And then you got to add some big guys. There's no doubt. But if you get Hill, there's your point guard. And you're going to have numerous guys who can run the point at that point. More of a combo guard, but I mean, you look at Jacoby Gillespie. He was not a point guard in the same sense as Zakai Ziegler was. He was more, I think, more of a combo guard, even though he had a point guard build to him. And I mean, let's face it, where are we at without Jacoby Gillespie next year? And then there is that wild card of they're toying around with this fifth-year stuff again. What would happen if Juke Harris comes back, if Nate Ament comes back, and then this fifth-year thing gets passed, and all of a sudden you get back Jacoby Gillespie and Felix Okpara? We can dream, man. We can dream, and good luck beating Slick Rick and that team. I don't think Rick Barnes will be Final Fourless after that one because they're pretty dug in on getting the Elite Eights right now. They're taking the steps right now to get past that point. Loving what they're doing, loving these pickups that they got, and they've still got a little bit of a base bringing in 4 freshmen. I don't think you can totally negate a freshman class, and I know some do, but I still think you got to have a little bit of a base. Hopefully you can get some guys in you can develop. And then there's, of course, Clarence Masamba. There's been talk of him potentially coming back. There's Ethan Berg that we've not really heard anything officially on as well. So there's a lot of possibilities left here. And, man, if that fifth-year thing gets passed, which, again, I mean, it's like last year. I'm not real confident in it happening. I mean, because you think they waited on Zakai Ziegler and Jordan Gainey last year. It didn't work out in that sense. And I don't think that changed how Tennessee built their roster unless they thought Gainey was getting it, because I think they definitely fell short at the 2-guard spot. But, yeah, you got to love what they're doing. You got to like this roster they're building right now. Hats off to Rick Barnes and company. Pedal to the metal right here, because they're getting these guys on campus and locking them down. We're seeing a staff that all business right here. Try to keep you updated as much as possible as we move forward. This is Frank, House of Orange. I'll see you. I want to see you.